they said that their teams have.
He's got it. Okay.
Luchi.
He got it.
No, these are just the two that we still have. Alright, we need to be walking out. Let's turn your phone on. What game did we do that in? It was a friendly. Oh, yeah.
Vamos todos, ¿eh? La primera que tenemos para adentro, ¿eh?
All right, guys.
Adidas Cup. FC Dallas, of course, the home team here in Frisco, Texas, north of Dallas, taking on Athletic Bilbao from the Basque Country in Spain. And the team's walking out now. FC Dallas in red, Athletic Bilbao in blue. We've got some fun names for you, so if we obliterate any pronunciations in Spanish and or Basque, we apologize in advance. "13 games already in the books today from the various divisions. We'll bring you some of those final scores as the evening goes on. The rules for this tournament: players born 1998 or later are eligible, so under 17 players. Teams will play 3 group games in the Champions Division, which is made up of 12 teams. The 3 group winners and 1 second-place team will advance to Thursday's semifinals. The finals to be held Saturday at Toyota Stadium. In the Premier Division, the group winner of each of the 4 groups advances to the semifinals. FC Dallas has been red hot in U.S. Soccer Development Academy play this year. 15-1-2, leading their division, the Frontier Division, and outscoring opponents 61-14. This Athletic Bilbao squad, meanwhile, a bit of a mishmash of age group teams. They did bring 6 players who were rostered for this year's UEFA Youth League, a U19 competition. None of them got into that tournament, which is basically a Youth Champions League. But they expect those 6 to kind of lead the way in this tournament with several of their players in the normal U16, U17 age range banged up. David, you had the morning game. You've been here for more of the tournament than I have, flying in this afternoon. What have you seen so far, and what do you think of this first matchup? This is one of the marquee games today.
One of the things we're seeing is the international teams have come ready to play, and so that's a huge element for these teams. And I talked to Coach Pareja today, Oscar Pareja, head coach of FC Dallas, part of putting together this tournament, and he said that's a new wrinkle that he loves, is an opportunity to test yourself against international talent, against maybe kids a little bit older, players that have played more with different styles, and that's one of the things we saw this morning. Portland Timbers took on Independiente Medellin. Medellin, high pressure, guys that wanted to run and take players on one-on-one, and Portland wanted to connect a little bit more, and with the wind out here and struggling to get the ball really down on the ground for Portland, Medellin was more successful, and their coaches talked to me after the game about how Medellin was ready to come out, play their style, take chances, take risks, and it worked out well for them, and it was a learning experience for Portland. FC Dallas now, they're going to have a little bit more of a crowd, a little bit more buzz, energy around them, being the home team, being the host, and being from a club where they know that they're close to opportunities to get into that first team because of the philosophy and style of Coach Pareja.
Underway from North Texas with Athletic Bilbao in blue, attacking right to left, south to north in this first half. FC Dallas all in red, attacking left to right toward Toyota Stadium, which of course both teams hope will be their ultimate destination, the Generation Adidas Cup to be awarded Saturday night. Bilbao go back to their goalkeeper, and here goes our first name of the day, Ander Iruarizaga.
Why not?
One for one. 10 to go.
Started easy. That was a tough ball played back to their goalkeeper there. Fortunately, wasn't under any pressure.
Toshiki Yasuda applying pressure for Dallas, and it'll be a throw-in to Bilbao in that corner.
And we've seen in all the games the wind be a factor in that. It's tough to get the ball in the air. It's tough to clear the ball when you're going against this wind, so it'll be interesting to see how FC Dallas looks to fight that, the wind going right to left across your screen. So FC Dallas fighting into it in the first half and then with it in the second half.
For FC Dallas, Ben Hale starts in goal. The back 4, Reggie Cannon on the right, Hector Montalvo and Brandon Tervegi in the middle, and Edwin Munhoma at left back. In the midfield, Adrian Ramos, Damian Hernandez, and Weston McKenney. And the front trio, Toshiki Yasuda on the right, Devin Vega on the left, and Giovanni Montes de Oca, who we've also seen in midfield, expected to be up top.
And this FC Dallas team is going to want to get out. They're going to want to score some goals to push the play a little bit, to create some quality attacking play here in front of their fans, in front of their club.
Just underway, 3rd minute from North Texas, day 1 of the 2015 Generation Adidas Cup. These two teams in Group B, along with Real Salt Lake and Pumas, who had one of the more entertaining and tightly contested games of the tournament so far.
And we saw a little bit of grit in that game, that edge, players getting physical as the game got down towards the end, some
American and Mexican teams mixing it up.
So there's already bite in this group. You know FC Dallas and RSL are going to have a little bit of a rivalry going as well, so it should be fun to watch as this tournament goes along to see who can find a way to escape or survive that group.
Yeah, I mean, we don't label groups of death, but this really could be the toughest of the groups. FC Dallas and Real Salt Lake met in the semifinals last year. Real Salt Lake winning 3-0 on FC Dallas's home turf, then losing in the championship game in a shootout to Stoke after a 1-1 tie. So you add in Athletic Bilbao, which is expected to be one of the top teams, and Pumas, that's a tough foursome. And Pumas got the win in the first game of the group, 2-1 over Real Salt Lake this afternoon.
And they've done such a good job going out and finding quality international teams to bring in. Eintracht Frankfurt out of Germany has looked probably the best team so far in this tournament. Palmeiras currently playing against the Philadelphia Union and have been dominant on the ball in that game, controlling the pace of play. Medellin, of course, we said already got that win versus Portland. So the international teams have shown well. See if Bilbao can do the same.
Garay for Bilbao, out wide to David Nates. Going one-on-one against Cannon, plays in the cross. And no problem for Ben Hale at the near post.
FC Dallas is going to want to watch out there. Nates, a little bit of space, an opportunity to run at his man one-on-one. He gets the cross away. He isn't able to get the quality on it, but a danger moment for Bilbao. See if they look to exploit that wing.
We'll have scores and goal scores on MLSsoccer.com throughout the week. I'm guessing you already know how to get there if you're watching us, but it is MLSsoccer.com/Generation Adidas Cup. Have scores and goal scores from both divisions. I'll be bringing you games today, tomorrow, Wednesday in the group play, and then Thursday the semifinals, Saturday the finals, the Premier Division in the morning, and the Champions Division, the Generation Adidas Cup final, Saturday night.
What a clearance there from the goalkeeper.
The wind helped him out a little bit.
And you think that it's not going to be that big a deal. It's a high quality of play, but it's so intense. In the first game, we saw Portland struggling just to clear the ball. Goal kicks weren't getting past midfield, and it was a huge factor in the style that first game played out. And so these teams have to be aware of that.
If you've ever watched any games, and if you did, they were most likely youth games, on the field just north of Toyota Stadium here in North Texas, it is flat everywhere around here. The stadium is the highest elevation point, really, and so the wind just whips through on a daily basis, and the ball doesn't have to be that high in the air for the wind to affect it.
And you would expect Dallas to understand that, want to play on the ground. The style that Dallas likes to play anyway is quality interchange, taking guys on one-on-one, trying to be aggressive on the counter-attack and fast, and it should play to their advantage.
Loose in the midfield. Won by Weston McKennie for Dallas, but his through ball picked off at the back. Little footwork there from Julian Bernaola at center back. On this near side, Bernaola stepping forward. Finally ran out of real estate.
And that was just too easy for him to work through those two attacking players to get that high up the field with the ball. FC Dallas is going to have to be stronger in the tackle.
Bernaola trying to start the attack from the back here. Breaking into the penalty area, Ardoneghi. And it's out for the first corner kick of the game. That was Benyat Andoneghi, the lone striker in this system, which we expect to be similar to FC Dallas. 3 central midfielders, 2 wingers, and the 1 lone forward.
And we saw direct goal from this corner earlier today.
FC Dallas trying to counter. Montes de Oca will win a free kick for Dallas.
And not enough quality there for Bilbao on that set piece to take advantage of. Set pieces are a big part of this game with this advantage here. You got to get better service on this end when you can to try and challenge the goalkeeper.
Day 1 of the Generation Adidas Cup, we should mention 35-minute halves, so 70-minute games. Each team allowed 5 substitutions with no re-entry. And these teams will play 5 games in the course of a week, so you do want to let them use most of their roster.
As well as the opportunity for the players to show themselves in front of scouts, to show themselves on a stage like this in front of the different people that are here to watch them play. And especially these international teams that travel so far, you want the players to get an opportunity to show off.
Well, and I liked the schedule adjustment this year, giving a day off prior to the final. Last year, it seemed like the Friday night semifinal or the Saturday night semifinals. I beg your pardon. It was Friday night last year, but it seemed like the final on a Sunday morning. Both teams were kind of exhausted playing in the sun. This year, the final is a Saturday night game. They will have had 48 hours off almost. Chance for Dallas. Montes de Oca, right-footed shot. He puts Dallas in front. Home field advantage for the MLS club. And Giovanni Montes de Oca puts Dallas on top 10 minutes in.
Footwork is excellent here. He works himself out of space. He beats 2 defenders and then curls it home with the outside of the foot. A gorgeous finish there. FC Dallas hadn't shown much offensively, took advantage of their first opening and got themselves a 1-0 lead.
Big start for FC Dallas. They get the goal 10 minutes in again. 10 minutes in out of 70 in this first group game of 3. Athletic Bilbao had more of the ball, but Dallas sharper in the final third so far.
And that a way to be opportunistic. Take that one chance that you get, put that goal in. Now you can play from that lead. You don't have to force as much. You can let the game come to you.
As you mentioned, that's a bright spot for the MLS teams because the international teams have been so strong today. MLS teams have been right there with them. But in terms of results, really only one result going the way of MLS teams so far today. That was Sporting Kansas City beating Aspire Academy from Qatar.
And they were down 2-0 in that game. We're able to come all the way back and get a
4-2.
Yeah. It's been, like we said, the international teams have been strong. They've come to play. They've looked really, really good in most of the games that they've played. They've dominated possession as well. So this could be a good opportunity for FC Dallas to gain a little bit of respect for MLS and show well as well on their home field.
We'll be showing you MLS teams against international teams all week. The New York Red Bulls against Recife from Brazil tomorrow at 1 Eastern, noon Central. And then tomorrow night, the San Jose Earthquakes taking on Palmeiras. That's at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. That's tomorrow's schedule. Again, the full schedule available on MLSsoccer.com. Tangle there, and for Bilbao, Edorta dos Santos got the foot in, knocked that out for a Dallas throw-in. Ido Arizaga, the goalkeeper for Bilbao. John Onaindia, Matias Lizarazu, Julen Bernaola, Edorta dos Santos, the back 4. How about that? You can name all the defenders.
You can do it when you're ready and prepared. Let's see if you can do it on a whim. And we've seen already since the goal, Dallas a little bit of space, chances to counter, and that's going to be big for them. That's the style that they like to play. An early goal for a team like this is key.
Gabriel Eritze, Xavier Navera, Gorka Serrato in the midfield for Bilbao. Xavier Garay, David Nates, the wingers, Benyat Andonegi, the forward.
And most of the attacking play for Bilbao has come down this left wing, Nates' side. We saw him whip in an early cross, and while they haven't had much offensive success, possession has been held down this left wing most of the game.
Nates escaped cannon briefly, tries to get it back from Garay. Couldn't control it, though, and it's cleared upfield by Damian Hernandez.
And one of the things we've seen across the board in these games is players on the international teams taking more risks, taking guys one-on-one, really trying to push play if they can on the dribble. And some of the players on the MLS teams a little bit more hesitant across the board. And that's something, it's good to play a team like this, to see that style of play, to learn.
Good work by Arise, but he couldn't connect with Garay. And it turns over. Here's McKennie for Dallas. Montes de Oca, the goal scorer. This is Yasuda. And Cannon will restart at the back for Dallas.
And FC Dallas did a good job working that ball back, and then a wasted clearance up there for a 50-50 ball. When they work it back to the back line, they have to find a way to switch the field and get it to feet in some open space.
FC Dallas in front here, 1-0, 14 minutes in. FC Dallas in all red, going left to right on your screen, attacking toward Toyota Stadium here in Frisco, Texas. Athletic Bilbao is in the blue, attacking right to left. Giovanni Montes de Oca giving Dallas the lead in the 10th minute. Really good individual effort and either a toe poke or an outside of the foot finish to the far post. Devin Vega coming across the field. His cross was deflected right to the goalkeeper, Ido Arizaga.
And I think it depends if you ask him or his coach. If you ask him, it's an outside the foot. If you ask the coach, it may have been a toe poke.
Clash of heads there, won by Montalvo for Dallas. This is Garay, who's been active in the middle. Got great height for a midfielder as well for Bilbao to win those long balls. Erice out wide for Serrato. And it'll be a free kick to FC Dallas, almost from the end line.
Fortunate right there in the end. I think the defender thought the ball was going to roll out. It didn't look like it was going to get there in the end, but he was able to shield away and eventually win the free kick.
We told you this could be the toughest group in the tournament. FC Dallas gets Real Salt Lake tomorrow, last year's runner-up. And then Pumas on Wednesday. For Athletic Bilbao, obviously, the order of opponents will be reversed. Pumas tomorrow and Real Salt Lake on Wednesday. Group winner advances automatically to the semifinals. And the best second-place team, in terms of point total, will also advance. 3 points for a win, 1 for a tie, and ties are broken by a shootout. If you win the shootout, you get an additional point in the standings, and that often is the difference.
And surprisingly, we haven't seen a single tie yet.
Amazing,
this
actually.
Whole day.
If you look at the numbers over the years, there's been a lot of shootout results, especially once you get to the final rounds, but also in group play, in Generation Adidas Cup play. No shootouts yet, and we probably, of course, just jinxed ourselves for this one.
Hey, I'll take a shootout to end the day. Why not? It's a little bit of excitement.
Garay to his right foot, lets it go, but over the top.
And Garay does well to use the open teammate as a decoy, pulls it back middle, just can't get that shot to dip. Good pace on it, though. Good play from him. He's really run the show so far for Bilbao in the midfield.
If you wonder why some MLS teams are in the Champions Division, some are in the Premier Division, they went through qualifying this year. 2 qualifying events in 3 different regions. One in the fall, one in February. And FC Dallas finished first in the Central region, 4-0-1 to qualify. Top 2 teams from each region resulted in 6 MLS teams in this Champions Division, along with 6 international teams from a variety of continents competing this year. The International Division, the remaining MLS teams, and 4 more international squads. Turnover breaks to Vega for Dallas. Playing it across the box. Montes de Oca again. Left-footed shot. Deflected wide. Ido Arizaga. Big save for Bilbao.
See the goal scorer instincts from him. He's able to take that first touch around himself. He shields the ball. Gets over it. His left foot. But the goalkeeper does a good job to close down the space and make the save. I'll, of course, leave the goalkeeper's name to you.
Eddie Munhoma to deliver the corner for Dallas. They're first. Sent the other way, and Andonegui will try and hold things up for Bilbao.
And FC Dallas, you see coming back in a huge wave of numbers. It was 2-on-2, and FC Dallas immediately got 7-8 guys back behind the ball.
Foul whistled against Dallas there by our referee, Jaime Herrera. This is a big week for referees, too. They get evaluated. I saw several names from last year's tournament, then in the U.S. Open Cup, and it was clear they had gotten rated high enough to move on.
Bilbao really pushing numbers forward to try and take advantage of this set piece.
They've got good height with the center backs. Bernaola, one of the main targets here, is David Nates, prepares to deliver. And with the left foot, Dallas able to clear. Looked like Tervegi got to the header.
Almost a mistake. FC Dallas still a chance to counter.
'20th minute of 35 in this first half. 70-minute games here at the Generation Adidas Cup. FC Dallas on top of Athletic Bilbao, 1-0. Ramos looking for McKennie, who had drifted out wide. Here's Vega. Devin Vega spinning to his right foot, firing, just missed the top corner. What a look.
I thought that was going to be one of the goals of the day. The footwork's gorgeous, and then he turns himself into space the whole time knowing exactly what he's going to do and curled that shot just wide. It looked like it was painted for that far corner. There's space there, too, over the goalkeeper. If that's on frame, I think it's going in. Great footwork, great play from him.
This one's flicked on, and it'll roll to the goalkeeper, Ben Hale. He's committed to attend Furman. Only a junior. Most of these players, juniors and sophomores. The occasional freshman out there. And FC Dallas, one of the teams with the most collegiate commitments already. These are verbal commitments, of course. Could still change. Of any of the MLS teams, they've got 4 already. And believe me, in addition to the staffs of the other teams that are here, and of course the parents for the FC Dallas game, you have college coaches throughout the week attending games, not just the ones on this field, but throughout the complex.
A chance to see players play against top quality, to see guys maybe that you're weighing between the two face off against each other as well. Some of the best talent in the world, really, here in this facility for a week. You don't have to go very far to watch a lot of good games.
This is Andonegi. I beg your pardon, that was Garay, and it was off of Garay.
And Garay continues to pick himself up around the field. He's playing center midfield, but he comes out wide, gets on the end of that ball. The touch in the end goes off of him, but it's good to see him float, move around, find the play rather than sit in his position and wait for the game to come to him.
Hector Montalvo, one of the Dallas center backs, won that tackle to win the throw, and now Dallas earns a free kick.
Yeah, FC Dallas hasn't really been stressed too much defensively. They haven't had a lot of times where they've been outnumbered in defense, or that Bilbao's really beat a guy one-on-one and gotten into a dangerous area. So they've done a good job staying together as a unit, moving well and communicating.
Bernaola won the first header. The ball falls to Navera. Now Arise. Almost knocked off the ball there, and Bilbao just had to knock it long. This is Cannon. Couldn't link up with Yasuda on that wing. It'll be a Bilbao throw-in on the near sideline. This is Navera. Defended by 2 and eventually forced backward to Arise. Hmm. 23rd minute of a 35-minute first half from the Generation Adidas Cup in Frisco, Texas. I'm Jonathan Yardley, here with David Goss. We'll be bringing you games from the tournament all week. Coverage as well on MLSsoccer.com. Handball will give Bilbao a free kick here.
And so far in this game, Bilbao hasn't been able to create something. They haven't been able to take a defender out of the play. They haven't had that moment of quality, a quality ball over the top or through ball. And Dallas is feeling pretty good, but they haven't really pushed their advantage. Just the one shot attempt from Vega since the goal. So neither team really settling in offensively after that goal.
That throw-in goes Dallas's way in front of the Bilbao bench. One in the midfield by Hernandez. Now Ramos. Back to Tervegi. Bilbao in blue, FC Dallas in red, going left to right with the lead, 1-0. On a goal from Giovanni Montes de Oca. That's broken up by Yasuda for Dallas. Chance to run, looking for Weston McKennie to the right corner. His cross blocked. A throw in for Dallas.
And for Bilbao, a little bit too slow there in the development. Nates was pointing for the ball, his foot. The coach right behind him was yelling for the center back to spray it out wide, and he just waited a minute too long.
You can see the throw-in's actually gone for Bilbao. FC Dallas, look of surprise on the face of Yasuda there.
And I like what we've seen from Yasuda on this wing. When he's gotten the ball, he's tried to take a guy on. He's connected well with his forward to link up, to give him a little bit of support.
McKennie got that one wide. And that cross is deflected. Held by Iro Arizaga. McKennie's one of the Dallas players. He's not the only one, but he's one of them who spent time in the U.S. Under-17 residency program, which brings, of course, a certain level of expectation when you return to your club.
It's that rare opportunity to live it, to constantly be playing, to have the opportunity to play in some of the best facilities and play against the best players in the country.
You could see Bilbao wanted that one called back because FC Dallas intercepted it without being in the 10-yard radius, but Jaime Herrera deciding Bilbao had taken that risk when they played it.
A little bit surprising the referee was right on top of that one.
Yeah, I think that's how it's called here. I don't know how it's called in Spain. Hernandez to Ramos. Montes de Oca trying to come back and play with his back to goal. It turns over to Bilbao. Garay wins it back. And it's cleared away by FC Dallas.
And I think we're seeing now for Bilbao a little bit a lack of chemistry between the team. We heard that they had some injury issues. We talked about some players playing up with the U19s, some coming up from the U16s, down from the U19s. There's been a little bit of kick and run. It hasn't been as connected.
Yasuda jumps that pass for Dallas. Chance to run. He skips past one defender, skips past another. Didn't have enough support in the end. Devin Vega picks up the ball for Dallas on the left wing. Running into the penalty area and bodied off the ball by a physical Bilbao backline.
And we see from this Dallas team, similar to what we see from the first team, love to just eat up that open space. When they pick up the ball with open space in front of them, they run into it, pace.
Onside the call, and Ben Hale smothers it for Dallas, his biggest play of the game.
Well-timed run there for Bilbao and just can't get the finish. Good job from Hale to read the play, get out quickly, and to not allow a rebound from a shot so close to him.
Tell you, we've seen Bernaola, 14 here at the back for Bilbao, start the attack a lot of times. Really good with his feet. He's played up as a midfielder at times, trying to stabilize the team from the back today. He's been one of the more impressive defenders we've seen on this first day. This is Garay. Yasuda again. Early ball for McKenny. The flag is up. It'll be an offside call against FC Dallas.
In the last 5 minutes, Yasuda making things happen, continually trying to get his team in behind that Bilbao defense, trying to take advantage of their pace. We saw that great run he had in open space and just couldn't finish off earlier.
Cannon heads away for Dallas. The second ball fell to Damian Hernandez. Neat touch to get by Arise. Yasuda gets it back from Reggie Cannon. Inside to McKenny. Trying to play it through, and the run wasn't there at the right time.
Early in the game, Bilbao was up on the first touch of Dallas. They were trying to pressure them, harry them. Dallas has been able to beat their man consistently now throughout this game, and now you'll see Bilbao sitting off a little bit, worried about getting beat.
Montes de Oca offside. And this play will come back after Montalvo had played him through, stepping up from center back.
And even then, the cheeky play to beat the goalkeeper, even after it's called offsides. You see that striker's mentality from him.
The risk a yellow card mentality also?
You have to be on that edge of crazy and confident to be a striker. We saw it earlier today with Carmona for Medellin, consistently calling his own number, but in the end got 2 goals.
Well cut out by Montalvo for Dallas and cleared to the halfway line. Warm, comfortable day. Nice escape from the cold climes of the Northeast. Very windy, as we mentioned. FC Dallas attacking left to right into the wind in this first half. FC Dallas in red, Athletic Bilbao in blue. About 5 minutes to play in this first half. 70-minute games here at the Generation Adidas Cup. Another chance breaking forward for FC Dallas. Wide of the mark.
Looks like Vega once again getting down that left side, does a good job. Cuts in on the man and can't finish with the strike, but we've seen a few times now from him when he drifts infield, he's able to beat a man and get a shot opportunity off.
Yeah, Dallas's danger clearly through the wing play of Yasuda and Vega primarily. Of course, it was up the middle with Montes de Oca that they got the goal.
And I think part of that, though, is the center backs are shying a little bit wide to watch the pressure that's coming off of Vega and Yasuda, like you said. And they're consistently running at their guy, and when there's no break for a defender, mentally it gets exhausting, and any time you finally get a chink in the armor, you have an opportunity on goal.
Nates with a chance to go one-on-one against Cannon. Wants to go to his left foot. Cannon read it and blocked it. And Cannon wins the second one as well.
And earlier in the game, Nates was able to take Cannon to his left foot and get a cross off. This time Cannon reads it both times, knows Nates wants to come back to that left foot, times it perfectly and gets the blocks in.
Really neat interchanging between Montes de Oca and McKenny there. And the offside flag up against FC Dallas. He's going to give a high kick here. That's the indirect free kick called. It'll be a free kick to FC Dallas for a dangerous play.
And we saw some contact here between Cannon and Nates. Starting to get a little bit chippy between these two teams. About half an hour, I guess, is enough for them to realize that they don't like each other.
So again, Dallas taking this free kick into the wind with Toshiki Yasuda. Diving header, but nowhere near the mark at the top of the 18.
Yeah, Yasuda played that ball a few feet behind his runners. He wants that ball in towards the PK spot, allow his teammates to run onto it, hit it with some pace, but that was behind them, and tough to direct it on goal and get the power from a position like that.
FC Dallas in red with the lead 1-0. They get a turnover here. Yasuda gets the ball back. Onto his left foot, the shot is deflected and doesn't get through. Bilbao asking Andonegi to hold it. Navera trying to play it through, and it's broken up by Munjoma, the left back. And he wants to join the attack now. Munjoma all the way upfield looking for Montes de Oca, who's still fighting for it and can't win it in the end.
Good battle in the box, though, between those two to fight for that final ball.
Bilbao really seemed to control the game the first 10 or 15 minutes, really 10, and I think the goal from Dallas gave them a lot of confidence. Here they go again. Yasuda's shot knocked away by Iruarizaga. And if that one had been a foot to either side, Dallas might have been celebrating a 2-0 lead.
And you can't fault him in any way because it's such a great run. The 1-2 gets him open, but Yasuda, if he puts that shot, like you said, either side, it's going in.
That was almost an own goal after the chip by Yasuda, but good hands from Iruarizaga.
It's been good to see how Dallas has grown in this game. And they've gotten more and more confident. They've pushed higher up the field.
It was that 10th minute goal from Giovanni Montes de Oca that has Dallas in front here. And again, they've kind of turned things around now, out shooting Bilbao 6-2.
And Bilbao, a few mental mistakes, that almost own goal. The turnover right there from Garay, unforced, just losing possession. It's gotten a little bit messy after it looked very tight for those first 5-10 minutes.
A lot of room for Reggie Cannon down the right side. Cannon breaking toward the penalty area. His cross blocked out by the recovering left back, Edorta dos Santos.
And he allows the defender to get back into the play. He's got acres of space. He waits a little bit to take that cross and eventually goes out for a corner kick. Not a lost play. But sometimes you wish be a little bit more dangerous in those situations.
Reggie Cannon, another guy who's been with U.S. youth national teams before. This actually his first year with FC Dallas. And he's got a second corner kick. Yasuda, who's been so dangerous late in this half, to take it. Wide at the near post, and it'll be a goal kick for Athletic. That'll do it on the first half from the Toyota Soccer Center in Frisco, Texas. First day of the Generation Adidas Cup, and we're halfway through our featured game tonight. FC Dallas leading Athletic Bilbao from Spain 1-0 at the half. Giovanni Montes de Oca with the goal. David, your thoughts on that first half? The goal really seemed to turn the game in Dallas's favor.
Kind of came out of nowhere for them. They hadn't really been pushing the play. Great job to take advantage of their one chance. FC Dallas is looking a lot like what we were saying with the international teams, taking guys one-on-one, taking risks, good with the ball at their feet, dangerous when they can get around the 18. The interchange, as the half went on, got better and better. More 1-2s around the 18 to get open shot opportunities, and Dallas grew in this game. It'll be interesting to see, though. I think Bilbao has a lot of easy fixes that the coaches are going to be able to go over with the players here at halftime to come out stronger for the second half.
FC Dallas 1, Athletic Bilbao 0 at halftime. We'll take the break with the teams, come back with second half action. It's FC Dallas 1-0 at the half. You're watching the Generation Adidas Cup on MLSsoccer.com.
I'm David Knapp. I'm from Dallas. I'm doing this for Top Girl Soccer. So I'm kind of blind. So eavesdropping on y'all. Do y'all mind?
By all means.
So
We love Top Drawer.
yeah.
We were actually just talking about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys are helpful for things like this.
Oh, okay.
Because you're the only ones that cover it.
Yeah. And I was gonna. I've been talking to him because I've known Steve Davis. Y'all know Steve for years. And so I was gonna do that tournament in February. They got snowed out, and I kept telling them all week. I go, I think it may get snowed. And they were like, they're in Long Beach, and they're like, it's not gonna do it. I go, well, I think we may have it. So a bunch of teams played 5-on-5 indoor, but that was about it.
I'm going to try and track down the other scores from the games that just ended.
Okay. Bilbao didn't really do much.
No, No, they didn't. They didn't look good. The team, actually, I mean, that Sporting KC win. I watched that game over. The Tar team's pretty good.
Yeah.
And you know, it was nobody scored at half. Then KC got the win, fell behind 2-0, and then just went crazy. Had some really creative goals. And, you know, nice header, corner kick, got them back in, kind of. And actually, Salt Lake played Puma pretty well. They scored like 2 goals in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I saw it was a PK, and then like immediately after was another goal.
Yeah.
I didn't see the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good battle. You got it? That was quick.
I mean, I didn't get the morning scores, but I got the afternoon ones. They were posted.
I think I'm gonna see if I can make a run to the bathroom on this. We're just gonna come back.
Yeah.
With play, right?
Yeah. Frankfurt won 3-0. Palmeiras won 4-0.
Oh, really? That was
Yeah,
that
they
final?
really whipped them.
What was the Palmeiras? Did you get the Palmeiras?
Palmeiras won 4-0.
Okay. And it was
1-0
not that
halftime.
close.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
I'm gonna. I'll check right as they come back on for
Oh, thank you.
Because
Yeah.
I don't know if they had.
This one's sweeter. I think it has more of that artificial flavor. Maybe.
No, I didn't read about that.
Yeah.
I know. Give it a look.
Back here in Frisco, Texas, getting ready for the start of the second half. Day one of the 2015 Generation Adidas Cup. Group B action between Athletic Bilbao from Spain, which is in blue, FC Dallas, the home team, both officially and logistically here in North Texas, leading 1-0 at halftime here in the opening day of Group B. 2 35-minute halves. And again, the group winner, each of the three groups in the Champions Division, advances to the semifinals along with the top team that finishes second. Semifinals will be Thursday, and the Generation Adidas Cup final scheduled for Saturday night. 10th minute goal from Giovanni Montes de Oca gave Dallas the lead and really turned the game in their favor. And they'll try and put it away here in the second half as we're underway from the Toyota Soccer Center in Frisco. Montes de Oca trying to control that one. And it rolls to Ander Iruarizaga in the Bilbao goal. Change up front for Athletic Bilbao. Borja Gonzalez comes in up front, replacing Benyat Andonegi. Egoitz Alava also in, replacing Erice in the midfield. Basically, they made a lot of subs. Aitor Aguado coming in place of Dos Santos. And Javier Rudi in for Gorka Cerato. So 4 subs at halftime from Bilbao. Clearly, Gorka Bidarazaga not pleased with that first half performance. And yes, I've been studying that name since about an hour before kick. Former player for Bilbao who is manning the bench. Weston McKennie stayed on side here for FC Dallas, looking for support. Finds it in Yasuda. Gets it back to Cannon. Damian Hernandez for Dallas. This time no teammate with whom to connect. And it falls to Iruarizaga. Under some pressure, not much on that clearance. Litzaratsu trying to deal with it. Gave it away. Here's McKennie. Going to shoot first time, and it's tipped wide. Still loose.
Love the mentality there. Take that strike, take a risk, force the goalkeeper to make a big play. It sits up well for him, and he does a good job driving through it with the laces and getting some power.
Offside up against FC Dallas. Early second half here. Again, if you're just joining us, 2 35-minute halves. They play 70 minutes in this tournament due to the high number of games in just a week. This is Naveira. Wide on the left again for Nates. Just into the game, Gonzalez dropping it off. A little bit more possession here from Bilbao. Nates again, one-on-one against Cannon. Gets the cross off with the left foot, and it runs all the way through the box. Finally tracked down right in front of us by Alava. That one hit our official, Jaime Herrera, falls to FC Dallas.
And we said for Bilbao, it started out strong in the first half. Coach is clearly not happy with the performance from a few of their players. A few players looked a little out of sorts at time. Heavy changes coming out of halftime.
You only get 5 subs. They used 4 of them at halftime. That's clearly a message being sent for the remainder of this trip. Late tackle here, and it will be a free kick for Athletic Bilbao. I think they thought advantage might have been played there.
I think right there, though, a little bit fortunate maybe to not get contact there because it was an ugly tackle coming in late. Foot was off the ground right in front of the referee, but not any contact. The referee calls a free kick, no yellow card given. 3 yellow cards into this tournament will result in a 1-game suspension. So you want to
So
try and
you'd
keep
really
those
have
down.
to be a consistently dirty player to come up with that.
At that point, you might as well just get a red card if you're getting 3 yellows in 3 or 4 games.
We would never advise just getting a red card, Dave. Okay, so maybe we would. Or at least one of us. Jonathan Yardley, David Goz with you all week from the Toyota Soccer Center just outside of Toyota Stadium here in North Texas, where the wind may be blowing, but it is so much warmer than it is in anywhere north of the Mason-Dixon right now. Hope you can soak up some of that sun through your grainy feed, or HD feed, depending on what your settings are at. 41st minute, FC Dallas in front of Athletic Bilbao.
For the second half in a row, FC Dallas comes out, not slow, but they're not pushing the play. They're kind of going to let themselves settle into the game, see where Bilbao kind of falls. If Bilbao pushes for this goal, they'll have room to counter. If they sit back a little, we'll probably see what we saw at the end of the first half from FC Dallas. High press, trying to work interchanges, give and goes on the top of the 18 to create some opportunities.
Now don't let the numbers, or the colors I should say, behind the team names fool you. Athletic Bilbao is in blue, FC Dallas is in red. Dallas going right to left, south to north in this second half. They can't both wear red. That would really not make for a good viewing experience. Another chance for Dallas, top of the penalty area, wide of the mark. Montes de Oca again.
And really, nothing the goalkeeper can do if he puts that one where he wants to. He curls it wide, but a great opportunity there. Space on the top of the box to wrap his foot around it, to choose his spot, and he just can't drive it home.
Lizarazu again heading away for Bilbao, but can't hold possession. Here's Montes de Oca. Tried to hit it early, and it wasn't really dangerous, either as a cross or as a shot in the end.
And you could see the ball set up nicely for him off that bounce, and so he tried to take advantage, see if he could catch the goalie off his line a little bit, but like you said, just didn't catch it right. Not dangerous.
Generation Adidas Cup goes back to 2007 in MLS. Now firmly established as a fall to spring tournament. Under 17, so players born 1998 or later are eligible. Substitute deflected shot at the back post will run out for a corner kick. That was Borja Gonzalez. And he's shown a couple of flashes of danger early in the second half.
Brought in by the coaches. Clearly given the instruction to attack, make something happen here. Down a goal, Bilbao has to force play.
Another substitute, Javier Rudi, to deliver the corner. Over everybody. Again, both teams still dealing with the wind. This half, it's in Dallas's favor.
See if Dallas can counter.
Long switch, a good spot of the run. Eduardo Gaza out, and with the outside of his left, did get that away. And Vega was offside.
And Vega, an awkward play there. I don't think he expected the ball to come back to him so soon. It was just a step offside. Otherwise, he was in on goal. The goalkeeper a little out of sorts after having to come out and play the ball in the open field.
Borja Gonzalez again, going to hit it, a dipper. And Ben Hale, good hands down to his left.
Hale's come out once and made a big save earlier in the game. Otherwise, he hasn't had that much work to do so far, and he's done everything he's had to cleanly.
Eddie Munjoma, the left back. Now it moves inside for FC Dallas. FC Dallas on the move. Yasuda cutting in from the right. This ball played across. Still not cleared. Yasuda, nice cut. And his left-footed shot didn't have a whole lot of power on it.
And Yashuda's instincts are phenomenal. He gets that ball, immediately knows what he wants to do. He brings it down, beats that first man, rather than just try and blast it through the crowd. Gets himself an opening, just can't get a hold of it. We've seen 3 or 4 times he gets himself in great situations and just doesn't have that finished product, that final shot to get himself a goal.
Bilbao going the other way. Borja Gonzalez again, outside of the right foot off the top of the crossbar.
Gonzalez has been phenomenal since he's come in. Outside of the foot there, unexpected, dips over the goalkeeper, off that crossbar, just an inch away from a highlight reel goal.
Ten minutes into this second half. We're playing 70 today from Frisco, Texas, north of Dallas. FC Dallas in red, leading Athletic Bilbao in blue, 1-0. First day of the 2015 Generation Adidas Cup. We do have finals from the Champions Division. We gave you a couple earlier, but we've got the full list now. In the early game, Sporting Kansas City beat the Qatari club Aspire Academy 4-2 in a back-and-forth game. Tight game on the next field over, but Pumas held off Real Salt Lake 2-1. That's in the same group as these two teams. Could be the tournament's toughest. So Pumas got the full 3 points on day one. The group we'll see tomorrow had a couple of dominating performances from foreign teams, as FC Dallas counters here onside with Montes de Oca, as Vega in the box. Still Montes de Oca. Layoff, McKenny, big stop, and the rebound is cleared. Iro Arizaga, maybe his best save of the day.
Montes de Oca, a fantastic dribble. He has that power along with the foot skills, and so he was able to get through the defender at one point, still stay on the ball, and you kind of have to finish from a position like that. A great opportunity laid out on a platter. Bilbao fortunate to get away, still down 1-0.
This one played across, headed out by the Dallas defense. Gonzalez one more time, and he's tripped up. They say he got ball. Now it'll be a free kick to Athletic Bilbao, and I think it's going to be a yellow card in the process. It is to big Hector Montalvo.
And we saw Montalvo earlier get called for a free kick at midfield. Referee at his limit now, giving him the yellow card.
Gonzalez, who has been active since coming in, looks like he wants the free kick as well. He was one of those who was in the squad for Athletic Bilbao's participation in the UEFA Youth League, basically a U19 Champions League. Didn't appear in any games, and he comes off the bench here and has really helped turn things around. Gonzalez delivers, tipped over the top by Hale. A big stop to keep it a 1-0 game. Third save for Hale, and again, probably his most difficult. Saw that one late as it came past the wall. Another sub coming on for Bilbao, their fifth and final, Ruben Lapara in, while for Dallas, we're getting a look at Benjamin Granillo. That one's headed wide, really not good contact made. Bilbao still with possession though. Dallas leads 1-0 here in the second half. We've lost our clock for the moment, working hard to get that back to you. That header back to Ben Hale looked scary for a second, but never had enough speed to go all the way back. That's cleared all the way up. Cross halfway. Header won by Montalvo. Looked like McKenney was the player who came out for FC Dallas, replaced by Granillo. Meanwhile, La Parra has gone in at the back in place of Bernaola. That's on the Bilbao defense. Dallas still trying to look for that second goal. It is in the net for FC Dallas. Reggie Cannon from right back makes it 2-0.
We've seen the fullbacks attack a few times, make space for themselves. We mentioned a center back substitution for Bilbao. So a little bit disoriented in that back line. Cannon makes the run. He's looking for teammates. He wants an option to pass, realizes that he has the chance to take it himself at the top of the 18, and does the right thing, gets his head over the ball, puts a solid strike on goal, and ends up in the back of the net.
2-0 FC Dallas. Critical goal there because Athletic Bilbao had been gaining confidence, come close to tying it with that free kick that Ben Hale tipped over. And so to get the second goal, restore double the lead, going to make a big difference here.
Gonzalez has been a difference maker since he's come in the second half. He's been a spark for them offensively. And now, fortunately, Dallas gets that second goal, like you said, push themselves, give them a little bit more confidence, take away some of the confidence from Bilbao, and try and close out this game. We said it, MLS team struggled a little bit today against the international opposition.
They did.
FC Dallas now trying to plant the flag.
Yeah, we were giving you scores before both teams really created some chances, and now Cannon, who just scored the goal, has gone down injured. I think he really just heard that we wanted a chance to give the out-of-town scoreboard. And by out-of-town, I mean next field over. We told you in the early games, Sporting Kansas City came from behind to beat the Qatari club Aspire Academy 4-2. Pumas of Mexico beat Real Salt Lake 2-1. A couple of goals in a span of about 45 seconds for Pumas in the first half of that one. Two games were real domination. And Eintracht Frankfurt, very impressive in a 3-0 win over the San Jose Earthquakes. I'm talking golazos from 30 yards. We're not faking these golazos. We're not saying they were impressive when they weren't. These were legit. One was upper 90, one bounced in off the post. Really impressive for Eintracht Frankfurt. And in that same group, Palmeiras from Brazil. A terrific free kick from distance, a 3-goal second half. They beat Philadelphia 4-0. So Eintracht Frankfurt and Palmeiras in control of that group after day one. We'll see Palmeiras take on San Jose tomorrow, see if the Earthquakes can get back in the picture there. The other game that was a final in the Champions Division today, River Plate of Argentina beat Toronto FC 2-0. I saw some of the first half of that one. It looked pretty even, actually. Toronto was dangerous up front, but River Plate comes away with the 2-0 win. They are in the same group as Sporting Kansas City and Aspire Academy. So Kansas City and River Plate both 1-0. Eintracht Frankfurt and Palmeiras both 1-0. Pumas 1-0 in this group. FC Dallas trying to join them.
It'll be interesting to see what San Jose does tomorrow. I think Frankfurt, we've seen both physically, technically, and soccer ability-wise, the best team here today.
Oh, a German club is good technically and physically. Why am I not surprised?
It almost looked like they were all just a year or two older than everyone else, and those golazos you were talking about, one of them, striker turned at midfield and put it in that far corner from about 35 yards out. But now San Jose is going to face a Palmeiras team that's strong as well, wasn't as dominant as Frankfurt was, and we'll see if San Jose maybe takes some lessons from that first game and can turn it around tomorrow.
So Juan Ramirez has checked in for FC Dallas. He's an attacking player, so I'm looking to see if Cannon was the player replaced, and if so, who is going to right back for FC Dallas. So a shuffling of the formation. I believe the change is Ramirez for Cannon, and it's going to involve some formation changes as well. So tough for Reggie Cannon. Scored a great goal. You could see how excited he was, and of course FC Dallas has the fans here that you get to celebrate with when you score, and then has to leave the game due to injury shortly after.
And FC Dallas, the showcase piece now, the last game here, all the scouts, all of the fans, like you said, everyone coming around to watch this game in FC Dallas has shown very well so far.
Last year, we didn't get to see them on our streams until the semifinals, and then they were taken apart by a Real Salt Lake team that we now know has 3 players who have already signed professional contracts on it. They were loaded last year, and Sebastian Saucedo with one of the goals of the tournament in that semi. So we didn't really get to see the best of FC Dallas last year. This year, opening night, the feature game, their fans on hand against a big-name opponent. So far, so good for FC Dallas, up 2-0. Not a lot of carryover from that team, by the way. Ramirez, who just checked in, and Duncan James, who is one of the top scorers for this team, but coming off the bench today, the only returning players for Dallas from last year. So Munjoma has moved over to right back, and we do actually have a new left back. That's Alex Girondale. So he came in for Cannon, and Ramirez was in for somebody else, possibly Vega up front. We are not located next to the substitution table here. FC Dallas 2 on goals from Giovanni Montes de Oca and Reggie Cannon. 10th minute and 50th minute unofficially. Yeah, I think Vega's the guy who came out for Dallas.
And that one almost went in off the bounce. Goalkeeper had to cover it right over his post. Bilbao, we said it, they had a spark coming out of halftime. Gonzalez was giving them that. Since that second goal, though, looks like the shoulders have dropped a little bit. The mistakes, like we just saw, starting to come back into their game.
Tomorrow's coverage, in terms of streaming, will kick off at 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll have the New York Red Bulls taking on Recife from Brazil. That's in Group A of the Premier Division. Red Bulls, one of the best teams not to make this Champions Division, edged out by the Philadelphia Union at the final qualifier between those two.
In dramatic fashion.
Yes. Really the last minute of qualifying, I believe. And then our night game tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock for those of you in the Western Bay Area. The San Jose Earthquakes taking on the very impressive Palmeiras club, of course, from Brazil.
And San Jose, early in their game against Frankfurt, showed some good attacking play. They couldn't get any sort of final product, and then Frankfurt really sunk their teeth in and took them apart. So I think it's going to be a really good game. I think that's going to be one of the better matchups we see tomorrow.
And then we'll have 3 games for you on Wednesday, the final day of group play. We haven't yet drawn lots to see who gets the Qatari club and who gets the Japanese club as far as pronunciations go. But we'll both be with you for all 3 games. Sagan Tosu of Japan against Chivas USA, formerly of Major League Soccer, at 11 a.m. Eastern on Wednesday. The Chicago Fire against Tigres at 1. Aspire Academy against Toronto FC at 7. Montes de Oca looking for a second. He wanted to get back to his right foot. And in the end, he put his teammate Granillo in a tough spot.
And you heard Granillo yelling for that ball. He wanted to help his teammate out. 4 defenders surrounding him and just couldn't corral that first touch.
David Nates does not like the American game. He has been knocked over a couple of times, gotten up with a pleading look toward our official Jaime Herrera. And that's an adjustment a couple of the foreign teams may have to make. Obviously, we told you Eintracht Frankfurt, Palmeiras had no trouble adjusting. Maybe Bilbao is going to need a day to get ready for a slightly more physical defensive game.
And we know a few of those players coming up from the U16 team. So playing with that step up, playing with maybe a more physical, more hardened player here on this FC Dallas team.
Yeah, Nates is a 99. He's still only 15. We do have a player in this tournament born in, yes, feel old with me, 2002. He just turned 13. We also have a player born in 2001. And then you get into fairly average territory with the, or not average, but normal territory with the 2000s, who are, of course, turning 15 this year. Borja Gonzalez picking it up for Athletic Bilbao.
And Gonzalez is someone you'd expect to see start this next game.
That's what I was just thinking.
And someone who maybe they can force their attack through, as well as Nates.
This is Nates chipping it back post. And it'll turn over to FC Dallas. We have a little over 10 minutes remaining. We'll probably get some stoppage time due to the injury to Cannon as well. 70-minute games here at the Generation Adidas Cup as Yasuda on the run for Dallas. Montes de Oca was offside by 5 yards. He uses the option on the right, and that cross cleared away for a Dallas corner.
And Yasuda is just fun to watch. Electric when he gets on the ball. Wants to take guys on, and we've seen more than once in this game he's able to beat at least 2 defenders, take someone out of the play, and then has the wherewithal to keep his head up and find his teammate and not just get locked in on his dribble.
Interesting to see him in this group. He actually is from Las Cruces, New Mexico. Played for Real Salt Lake's Arizona Academy in the Generation Adidas Cup in 2012 when they had an under-15 edition. Has since moved into the residential program here with FC Dallas.
And both
New Mexico is hot recruiting territory for both Dallas with its El Paso Academy and the residential program, and Real Salt Lake's residential program in Arizona.
And both a lot to give when you look at players deciding. Both teams like to give young players opportunities, have great facilities, great opportunities. Really a tough decision between the two.
That's headed straight up in the penalty area. Fairly uncontested in the end for Iruarizaga. Say that 10 times fast.
I refuse.
Broken up by Munjoma stepping forward, but he couldn't control it. Goal differential can play a factor in determining that best second-place team as FC Dallas goes forward thinking about a third. Thinking seriously about it. It's loose on the goal line. And Iruarizaga able to cover up after the effort from Granillo.
And he had to be aware, get back on his feet quickly. Once again, we see that Dallas attack, the ability to beat a player one-on-one, take a defender out of the play, get yourself a numerical advantage, and get a shot on goal.
Pretty decent game from our goalkeepers. I've got Iruarizaga with 6 saves, Ben Hale with 3. That tells you that, amongst other things, these teams are putting shots on target. Sounds easy, sounds like an obvious statement. Well, yeah, of course they put shots on target. Much easier said than done in the youth game at this level. Good turn by Montes de Oca. This is Gerondale. Yasuda went down under the challenge of Onandia. Or Onandia, I should say. Wins the ball back, though.
Unbelievable
Played through
control.
Montes de Oca. Onside to put it away. 3-0 FC Dallas. Giovanni Montes de Oca puts it out of reach.
And irrelevant of that goal, I think he was man of the match already. But a gorgeous build-up there. And the calm ability from Montes de Oca to finish that one off. We saw it earlier in the game. A tricky finish. This one much more plain, much simpler. And he does a great job to finish it.
Looked like Granillo was the one who played that ball through. We'll have to check with Dallas after the game to try and get the young man an assist because it was a heck of a through ball. Dallas made a sub following the goal. Yasuda, one of our favorite players today, leaves the game. And Duncan James.
And James was a player we thought we'd see a lot of.
Yes.
He's a big goal scorer for this team. We thought coming into this game, trying to prove a point that they'd start him. Montes de Oca got the start up top, and that's why they're the coaches and we're sitting here, because he has been incredible today. Hold-up play has been good. Connect play has been good. He's taking guys one-on-one himself, created for himself as well as his teammates, and 2 goals is never a bad afternoon for a striker.
When he's gone out wide on the left here, couldn't bring that one down right in front of us. But he's a guy, last game report I saw, he lined up in the center of midfield, even as one of the holding players. Today, up top, scores 2 goals, moves out wide left after James came on. And I believe the day is done for Giovanni Montes de Oca, as he leaves in the 65th minute. And Isaac Albadade will come on. This is Duncan James with his back to goal, being pressured by Ruben Lapara.
And I like the idea for these coaches, for these players, moving them around positions a little bit, like we talked about with Montes de Oca. So here's the goal for his second goal of the day.
We couldn't see a number there to confirm the pass, but you felt confident it was Granillo? We're going to check.
Whoever it was great control to get it off the chest, pop it high, and then not swing wildly at it, but place that ball out of the air for a through ball to put Montes de Oca on goal.
$3-0 FC Dallas. Really one of the more impressive performances, if not the most impressive by an MLS team today, David.
I think it's definitely going to go down as that. Maybe not as impressive as what Frankfurt did, but still an opportunity now to go and play an RSL team, how talented we said they were, as well as Pumas, to prove maybe that they are one of, if not the best teams at this tournament.
And we think this group could be, in addition to being the most competitive, perhaps the most wide open, because Real Salt Lake, FC Dallas tomorrow, hard to predict. Athletic Bilbao, Pumas, just the same.
Well, they're going to take something from this game. They brought in those 4 subs at halftime. We said it was a mishmash of players. Clearly, they're still figuring out their lineup, figuring out starters, how they want things to fit together. It should look a lot better in the next game.
And Pumas might be a team that more fits Bilbao's style of how they're going to play. A little bit more deliberate and perhaps less physical, although hard to say.
And for Dallas, they haven't possessed a lot. They haven't moved the ball up the field, brought numbers high, and knocked it around. But the technique has been phenomenal from the individual players to take guys on, make the 1 or 2 correct passes to get themselves in on goal. A little bit different than what we saw with Pumas earlier in the game when Pumas against RSL, they were trying to possess the ball, knock it around, and control play.
That's broken up before Albadade could get a shot off. It'll be a throw-in for FC Dallas.
FC Dallas in no rush now, taking their time. And FC Dallas got that first goal a little bit against the run of play, and since that moment, it's really been their game. And we said their style, they want to counterattack. They want some open space for their attackers to dribble at guys. And that first goal just gave them all those opportunities to then play their style of game.
FC Dallas in red, up 3-0 on Athletic Bilbao from Spain in blue. Wrapping up the first day of action here at the 2015 Generation Adidas Cup. This is the 14th game of the day. We'll have 14 more for you tomorrow. You can keep track of the schedule and all the results at mlssoccer.com/Generation Adidas Cup. Just bookmark it. You won't have to type Generation Adidas Cup every time. And that'll have the schedule of the streams. We told you 2 games tomorrow, 3 games Wednesday. All 4 semifinals in a row on Thursday. We're going to need some snacks during that one, I think. And the finals, the Premier Division Saturday morning, and the Generation Adidas Cup Finals Saturday night.
One of the things we could say, 14 games today, every game has had its intrigue. There's been great goals, there's been closer matchups, there's been some star players that we've seen rise up. So it's going to be exciting as this tournament goes on, as teams sort of start to settle in a little bit more about how it falls. Even in games where we saw a sort of domination from one team, you could see the quality in the other team and how they could potentially be a thorn in someone's side further into this tournament.
Good defensive work on the dangerous Borja Gonzalez there, but Athletic Bilbao win a free kick.
And one of the things that's been impressive for FC Dallas, how quickly they convert from defense to attack. Cannon, of course, scored that second goal. Their defenders, every time they've picked up the ball, have had freedom to push forward as much as they can, and they've done a good job of launching the counterattack. Bilbao now starting to feel that Texas heat.
The sun's gone down.
You could see a little bit them dragging earlier in the first half. Saw a couple other teams around this field struggling maybe a little bit with the pace of play or the heat. It's only going to get tougher throughout this week.
FC Dallas in red. The perfect start to this tournament, hosting the featured game on the opening night and beating a pretty good name opponent, Athletic Bilbao, by a 3-0 margin right now.
Gonzalo once again causing havoc for that FC Dallas defense. The number 10 coming off the bench. It's been the spark in the second half for Bilbao. Has been probably their best player throughout this game.
It's Monjoma, who started at left back, moved to right back when Cannon was hurt, gave that one away. This straight up the middle for Alava, now wide to Rudy. Time winding down on this one. Players from both teams checking with our official, Jaime Herrera. And now a man down at the back for FC Dallas.
Looks like cramps a little bit of an issue here. And you mentioned it earlier, but in a game that ends 3-0, goalkeeping has been very impressive for both sides. Goalkeeping, we've seen some pretty good keeping throughout this tournament. Across the board, it's one of the tougher positions to develop as a young player, and yet we see a lot of good goalkeepers coming through so far.
5 substitutions allowed in these Generation Adidas Cup games with no re-entry, so both teams are set for personnel as Brandon Tervegi gets to his feet and will look to come back in shortly. That's going to do it on the opening day of the 2015 Generation Adidas Cup. A very impressive win for FC Dallas, 3-0 over Athletic Bilbao. Giovanni Montes de Oca, just a couple days after his 17th birthday, University of North Carolina commit, scores twice. Reggie Cannon, the right back, scores in between. Ben Hale comes up with 3 saves. FC Dallas comes away with the shutout. David, legit performance for FC Dallas. Are they the favorite as far as an MLS team goes in this tournament for you?
From what we've seen so far today, I think one of the good matchups, and we talked about, is going to be them versus Real Salt Lake. Those are two teams that a lot is expected of them. We'll see how Toronto FC plays tomorrow. We'll see maybe how San Jose balances back. And, of course, the New York Red Bulls are always a talented academy team that you have to watch out for. But this FC Dallas team knew exactly what they wanted to do. They came out, they let themselves feel out the game, and from 10 minutes on, they were able to dominate.
We'll be back with you tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern, noon Central, in the Premier Division with the New York Red Bulls and Recife, and again tomorrow night at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, San Jose and Palmeiras. The final score here, FC Dallas 3, Athletic Bilbao 0. For our entire production crew, from my partner David Goss, I'm Jonathan Yardley. Thanks for watching. So long from Frisco. FC Dallas with a great start. They win it 3-0 on the opening day of the Generation Adidas Cup.